So how are you feeling? Are you feeling okay? Are you ready for another short burst of Affiliate Marketing 2.0? I hope so. Video 7. Wow, we're making good progress, aren't we? This whole module, by the way, as I'm sure you've noticed, module 2 is called Techie Time, because we are going to be learning some techie skills. We started doing this already, and in this video, I have another little techie skill to share with you. We are about to go and create an ebook. How exciting! And if you've never done this before, you're about to see it's nice and easy. It's not complicated at all. It's nothing for you to worry about, and it's very quick. Now, an ebook, let's just define what this is so we're all again on the same page. An ebook is a digital version of a document. What does that exactly mean though, Chris? What it means is we're going to create a digital version of something that you'll create at home, and because it's digital, it can therefore be downloaded by other people. We can distribute it around the web. You can even email it to people. You'll see exactly what I mean when we continue in a few moments' time. Now, something about the web business I'd like to quickly mention. I've touched on this before. I've alluded to this earlier. One thing I found quite difficult when I started was as follows, that there are many different ways online to achieve the same result. And therein lies an awful lot of confusion straight away. What I mean is somebody could say to you how to do something like this, then you might meet somebody else that says what appears to be exactly the opposite, yet both can achieve the same result. And that itself causes a lot of confusion, particularly if you are new to this business. The reason I'm saying this is because there are many different ways to create an ebook. I'm going to show you what is the easiest and what is the quickest, and also it's free as well. So let's go and do this. Just a few things you need to know about ebooks, by the way. An ebook is known as a PDF. You probably know this. In a moment we will create an ebook and we will save it on your computer at home, and it will be called, whatever we decide to call it, .pdf. Okay, so all ebooks are saved as a PDF. Another great thing about ebooks is once they are created, they can't be edited. Unlike, let's say, a Word document that somebody could copy and paste and edit and change around, you can't do that with an ebook. So you're safe in the knowledge that nobody can take your information and edit it and rename it, etc., etc., etc. And also, they are nice and easy and fun to create. So, what do you reckon? Let's go and do it, shall we? Sounds like a plan to me. Let me go to my desktop on my computer right now. Okay, so here I am at my desktop, and the very first thing I'm going to do is open up a blank Word document, and I'm going to create something that's brand new. So let's very quickly create something. This is a test ebook. Okay, now I'm just going to quickly format this. And you could do this at home on whatever word processor it is that you use. I'm only doing this for the sake of illustration. And let me quickly add an image. And let's just quickly grab an image from my computer. This will do. There we go. Oops, a bit big. I'm just going to click and drag it a little bit to make it a bit smaller. Okay. And let me just paste in some text below. There we go. Okay, so all I've done literally is I've created a document here, and that's fine. Now, let me save this straight away on my computer. So I'm just going to do that, and let's call this, I'm just going to make sure I save it on my desktop, and I'm just going to call this test. Literally. So just to recap, I'm saving this and I'm calling it test, and I'm saving it on my desktop. Let's click save. Okay, so far so good. Now I can close this. Now look, on my desktop somewhere will be this document. Here it is, test. Good. Now we want to convert this into an ebook. To convert it into an ebook, we need a PDF converter. Now, there's lots of free PDF converters out there. In fact, there are some you can pay for as well. I'm going to recommend the one that is by far the best, and it's part of something called OpenOffice. Now, let me explain what OpenOffice is. OpenOffice is a free software suite. It's totally free. It allows you to do loads of things like create documents and create ebooks and lots of other things as well, and it works on all computers. It does work on a Mac as well. I'm using a PC right now, but it does work on a Mac. It's got its own version of Word in it as well. It's got loads of cool little toys. So the very first thing we need to do is actually download OpenOffice. Now, it's quite possible your computer already has OpenOffice on it. If it doesn't, what we need to do is download it. Now, I've actually uninstalled it just so you can see me do the whole process. So very quickly, let's go to the web. And here we are at Google, and literally type in OpenOffice. In fact, that would be fine. Just type in out OpenOffice. Always be the first result. Here we go, OpenOffice, the free and open productivity suite. And if you haven't got this, you should download this. It is just fabulous. So I want to download openoffice.org. Let's click on that. Download now. Let's click on this big green download button. You will download what is known as, and you don't really need to worry about this, but it's called an executable file. This big, long, boring technical name here ends with .exe. Basically, you don't need to worry about that. Just click Save, and you will now choose where you're going to save it. So keep it named as it is and save it to your desktop. So let's click Save. Okay, now it's telling me over here that it's actually downloading. Okay, so it's now downloading, and let me just show you over here. You'll get a little download window. I just paused this video for a second to let it finish because it is quite a large download. It's actually 148 megabytes. Now, if that doesn't mean anything to you, that's fine. Let me just tell you, that is quite a large download. I've got a very fast internet connection speed here at home, but this will still take, well, it's taking me about a couple of minutes for it to download. So we're almost there. We're at 90% of the download. Let me just pause the video for the last few seconds. Okay, and once it finishes downloading, boom, that's it. It's now downloaded. Now, this is where a lot of people get confused when they download something. There's actually a two-step process to downloading something. Firstly, you download it to your computer, and that's just what we've done. We've gone to openoffice.org, the website where these files reside. We've downloaded those files onto your computer, but we now need to activate these files. So we can close this window because we've finished with this. And now what we will do is find what we just downloaded on our desktop. Here it is. And we now need to activate it. So as I say, it's a two-step process. So let's left-click on this. Sometimes you might get a little security warning. Often you do with executable files, but it's totally safe. And then you will see this little window that is an instruction wizard, they're known as, to allow the program to start working on your computer. Now you just need to click next or unpack, however it is worded, and again it might take a couple of minutes to extract all the contents that we've just downloaded. In fact, this has just happened very quickly. It will take a couple of seconds to install. Here we go, a few more next buttons, and now it's actually going to install the files that we've downloaded. So just to recap, we download the files once and then we install what we've downloaded onto our computer. A lot of people download something and then they think, understandably, because I was like this when I started, that that's it, but it isn't. We then need to install it. So it's just taking a couple of seconds. There we go. Installation wizard completed. Fantastic. It's all been installed okay. Click Finish. Now, I'd very quickly like to explain something else that confuses a lot of people. What we now have are what looks like two icons for OpenOffice, and we do actually. We have the first icon is the icon that represents the files that we downloaded from OpenOffice, and now the second one is the actual icon for OpenOffice itself. So now we've got the files from the first icon, and this is the one with all those kind of looks like a nonsense letters and numbers. We don't need this at all, literally. So I tend to right click on this to keep my desktop nice and tidy and click delete. And that's fine, so it's gone. So that's gone, but what we do now have is OpenOffice itself, and it actually says openoffice.org 3.2. That's the version number, that's the latest version. So great. Now, the whole reason we've done this is just so we can create a PDF. Once again, you've downloaded OpenOffice, you don't need to do it again. It's one of these many things that we only need to do once. So let's quickly, because I don't want this video to be too much longer, let's open up OpenOffice. Here we go, great. Now what you could do is you can open up a brand new document, text document, and create your document itself, just like we did a few moments ago. So you type in all your stuff here and add your images like we did in our Word document, or you could just open up the document that we've already created in Word. So let's do that. Let's go to open up here and let's find that document. What was it called? It was called test, wasn't it? That's on my desktop somewhere. There we go. Here it is, tests. Let's open up tests. This will now pop open in Open Office, and here it is. So here's what I created in Word a few moments ago, and I've opened it up in Open Office. Now, the reason for all of this is because of this little magic button up here. Look. Ta-da! Export directly as a PDF. That's exactly what we want. So, if you've never created a PDF before, this is an exciting moment. This is how we do it. We click on this PDF button up here. We will now be asked where we want to export it to. That means where we want to save it to. Again, for now, save everything on your desktop. So I'm going to save it on my desktop. And let's call it, what should we call this? Let's call this Chris Test. So I'm saving my ebook as Chris Test. It's automatically going to be saved as a PDF. It's going to be saved on my desktop. Let's click Save. That is it. Let's close this document now. In fact, let's close OpenOffice totally. I don't need to save that. And on my desktop somewhere, look, here it is. Here's my wonderful first ever ebook, Chris Test. And look, it's got the PDF logo and everything. And now if we click on this, it will open up as an ebook. Let me just change the size so we can see it a bit better. And let me just move the camera fraction. There we go. So look, we have an ebook. Isn't that perfect? You've created your first ebook. Congratulations. So what do you do now? Well, quite simply, have a go at creating a very simple ebook. Only needs to be a couple of pages, and you've just seen how easy it is. If you haven't got OpenOffice, you will have to go and download that, so download that as well. Listen, I keep saying this, but seriously, well done. I can't tell you how many people I speak to that even something like this, which hopefully you're now realizing is not that difficult, is it really? Even something like this will stop a lot of people taking a web business even further, because wrongly they're thinking, oh, I can't do that. It's all about mindset, isn't it? How often have I said this? I think the most important thing about this business is allowing ourselves to think differently. None of us, and I include myself, are the most technically genius people by any means. What I do have, and I suspect you have the same, is despite having that fear of learning new stuff, we still have that capacity to push ourselves through this fear. And it actually turns into fun, doesn't it? Just imagine how you're going to feel when you actually start monetizing this. It's just a process, guys. It really is just a process, but we need to learn all these little things first. Okay, this video's been a little bit longer than I hoped. I apologize. I've got a very exciting video for you next. We're going to continue our techie stuff, so I'll see you there next.